Hello, and welcome to the Paranormal Operator Podcast. I'm your host, Adam, Operator 23. On tonight's mini-episode, we will be talking about The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Episode 2, Season 4. On this week's episode, they ran into some aerial phenomena with their drones. So what the team did, they went out, contracted themselves a company that flew drones as part of air shows, so they could fly in all sorts of formations, make different shapes and images, almost like a laser show, but with drones. They flew these drones in a tight rectangular formation over two areas of the ranch. First over the triangle, and then over the east field. For those of you that have seen Season 3, I believe it was, they had aerial anomalies over the east field. So, what happened? Well, when the drones were at the east field, nothing much happened. The biggest thing was one drone decided to launch itself prematurely. Went up to its appointed spot and just sat there. When they did launch the other drones, they went up without a hitch and found their spot around the one rogue drone. The only thing beyond that, really, was the fact that some of them were a bit squiggly around. Maybe they were fighting a wind, although there is the comment made that there is no wind. So, maybe there was wind, maybe there wasn't. Over the triangle, however, the story was quite different. You see, the drones were in an area set up in their formation. They would lift off, hover, move over toward the triangle, and then rise to another altitude. While they were transitioning from the field to, or their landing area, rather, to the triangle, they would fly perfectly fine. Once they got over the triangle, some of the drones left their positions. Some of them went all over the place. But the coolest thing, and I mean the coolest thing, was the way that their batteries started to fail. So the batteries were drained very quickly, and the drone operator said they had no explanation for it. But the coolest thing about it, I would say, is the way that it happened. It was the drones in the center that came down first. So they have safety protocols that if they have a battery that's too low, the drones themselves will initiate their landing sequence. So they'll come back, and they'll turn around on their own, even if they don't have enough juice to get from point A to point B. If they're halfway, they'll turn around and come back. And that's kind of what happened. They got to their spot, they were there, and then they brought themselves back. As they were descending, the formation, it lost its shape and made the shape of like a bowl, which would indicate to me, and I don't know if this is the case or not, but that the drones who were in the middle of the anomaly were the ones who got zapped first, because they came down first. So that was kind of cool. They brought them down, changed out the batteries, and sent them back up. And again, the same thing happened. Now, in conjunction with this, they had one of the other guys who had previously done LiDAR on the ranch. He was there with a terrestrial scanner. And it's basically LiDAR, but he's taken from the ground. And it's similar to the device that you might see a survey team doing, like on the side of the road. Shoots out an infrared laser, and then it scans left and right. So you would get a pretty good three-dimensional image or scan of the ranch. And on top of that, they were firing rockets. I think they fired at least 2. So, what did they find? Well, the LiDAR was kind of interesting in the fact that there was a whole swath of the mesa that was just gone. Like, the data was there, it had been collected, but it was not in the spot where it should have been. Now, for the drones, they were actually hooked up with GPS trackers on 4 of them. Now, over the east field, their performance was nominal. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. They made really nice straight lines. It's a really good symmetric rectangle. Perfect performance. Over the triangle, however, the GPS trackers were all over the place, including under the ground. Now, obviously, none of these drones crashed, or at least not that they showed, and the crew all said that, visually, they were all up in the sky, except for maybe a few that failed to launch. But none of them were under the ground. And upon closer inspection, Travis actually makes the comment that some of the shapes made by the GPS lines form what appear to him to be a funnel. And in his words, if he were going to draw a wormhole, that's the shape it would be. It was like a triangle facing down, and then another one underneath it facing up. So, kind of like the Black Widow symbol, or an hourglass, if you will. It's kind of interesting. Makes you wonder what in the world's underneath the ranch. At any rate, they definitely want to do more digging. They want to do digging and LiDAR in the mesa, but I can't wait to see what happens in episode 3. They already have a trailer for it, a little sneak peek, where they fire a rocket, and apparently it hit something. So, folks, I would definitely recommend this show. Go out, watch it. You can find it on play.history.com. It is there for free. You can also watch it on your devices through the History Channel app. So, folks, again, go out there and watch it. And I feel like you're going to like it. And if you start at Season 1, don't get turned off by the editing or the dialogue, because, trust me, Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4, it only gets better. Also, I'm outside, not that far from Dulles Airport, so if you hear some noise in the background, I do apologize, but it was the best I could do at the moment. So, folks, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Until next time, folks, keep searching in the darkness.